Welcome to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show, presented by Hugh Hattrick. Here at Bathurst in the Forest, my very special guest, Basic Ollie, Rascal, Rabbit, Josh Martin. It's great to have you back on the show. Drive fast and try not to crash.
Hey.
Good evening, hello, and good evening, or it may well be good morning to all our fans across the globe. We have got a very special treat for you today. It's the Car Sim and Race Driver Show with me, Hugh Hattrick, and my very special guest, Braden Henderson. Hello, Braden. How are you doing this morning?
G'day. Hey, everyone. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. You. How are you?
Very well indeed. It's great to see you, and I know the commitment of all our Australian and New Zealand buddies as they're up at incredible times in the morning. I believe it's round about 6 o'clock in the morning. Is it just now, or half past? Or yeah, going on 6 o'clock.
Yeah, just tick over 6.
I have to say you've got up early on a Saturday morning, which is incredible commitment to watch the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. Now, I saw you a couple of weeks ago on YouTube. You were doing the FIA race at Suzuka and having lots of fun. It was a tough race, and I thought, this is the man we need to have on the show to see what it's like. You're just qualified out of school and now got at university. So it's a great chance to see what sim racing means to you and how it all begins. But of course, we need plenty of comments, and they are coming in thick and fast. We've got lots of people in the chat already, which is brilliant. So what I'll say is make sure you get your questions written in the comments, and we'll start to ask Braden the questions in a few minutes. But yes, someone's already commented on how nice your track racer sim rig is. So you're making quite a few people envious already. But it's great to have everybody who's watching, whether it's a new subscriber or whether you've been with us for a long time. You're all very welcome on the show. And if you can hit that like button, that would be even better. And if you like lots of interviews with sim racers just like Braden and many more, make sure you subscribe as well. So, Braden, I've done an introduction. I've blabbed on for long enough. Now it's your turn.
Cool.
How did your sim racing career and passion begin?
Right. Well, right back at the roots. So my uncle, he used to be into like racing games, stuff like that. Not as competitive as probably what I do now, but he used to love playing like Gran Turismo 4 and 5. Everyone in chat, by the way. Yeah. And so basically, when I was yay high, I guess I would probably just jump on and just grab the P2 controller and play with him. And basically, he'd probably start me off doing like all like the cone and like the lessons in Gran Turismo, basically. And yeah, I think I started in GT5 was my proper Gran Turismo game. Well, that was his game actually. And then that following Christmas, Gran Turismo 6 came out. That was mine. I bought that on my PS3, and that was the thing I grinded out every day after school with him actually. In I'd have to say mostly Bathurst lobbies, I think, racing on Bathurst. So I think I probably started getting better and better. I think my very first wheel was the T60 racing wheel from, I think it's T60 from the Thrustmaster wheel range, basically, but it didn't have any sort of force feedback or anything. It was a little bungee cord, basically, inside of the wheel. And so then once Gran Turismo Sport came along, I was still using the pad. Not very good at using DualShock 4 anymore, I have to admit. I've probably lost that ability now. But so basically what happened is I started getting better and better. Got this wheel, and then because I got the wheel, I thought, you know what, I need a good wheel stand. So I got Betsy the Bunnings table. Yes, Betsy gets a shout out. So so I got Betsy. Betsy was going strong for a while, and kind of got better and better and better still. And then eventually I probably just decided it's time to upgrade a little more.
You got that.
And I got this bad boy. So yeah, custom wrapped and all. So
That's incredible. The track racer does look fantastic. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Now, we've already got some questions, we've had quite a few questions, and I got a little tip, as we would say back over in here in Britain. A little birdie said to me that you're obsessed with Mercedes. That was one of the big things, and I can see from the cap, and that's the thing, and also from the back of your seat there, which looks incredible. You love Mercedes. So what is it about Mercedes that attracts you to them?
Well, my uncle actually, he kind of introduced me to Formula One as well as Gran Turismo, so I probably wouldn't be doing this without him. So shout out to my uncle down the road, basically. But so he introduced me to Formula One. He actually bought an AMG C63S 2019 coupe. So that's his baby, basically, along with HSV Maloo R8 Z series. So there's that, and so he's got two babies now, basically. And I think I just I decided to like Mercedes because he decided to like Mercedes. So so both pretty well into Formula One. I'm absolutely loving it. And we were going to go to Spa this year to see the Belgian Grand Prix, but unfortunately, because of recent events, so I think that might be on next year, maybe the year after. Who knows? We'll get there eventually, but That's
how it all started, and why you're keen on Mercedes. To be fair, I did have a chance. I drove a Mercedes AMG. It was the C43 Saloon earlier this year. Now, that was a nice car. It's not got the V8 engine. It was a 3-litre twin turbo, and it was nice. It was 4-wheel drive, and they wanted me to try and drift it, which was not an easy task. But it was great around the track, and I've got a video of it on the catalogue on the channel, which was quite fun. And we had a proper British GT driver as an instructor, and they were great cars, but it's no doubt that all the practice on GT Sport and things like that, even driving on road cars in the game, I thought it was actually easier in real life. The car handled actually a bit better than you think. It was amazing what it could do. But no, I would be getting very close to that uncle of yours and see if he can lend you the keys. And say, let's move it from the garage for you, round the driveway. It's anything. I'll go to the shop.
Wish I could. That'd be awesome.
No, that's the thing. But now we've had a question from CST BFO Fat Furby saying that where are your medals, Nitro?
So, a bit of background for that, really. These are my only two medals that I really have, apart from like a couple participation awards at the school sports day. But these are them.
Wow.
If I show the camera properly. Yeah, so... wrong way.
So you're going to first
all wrong. There we go. Yep. Two first place medals handed out by Furby, actually, because me and the boys do this racing series called CST BFO Showdown. And monthly-ish sort of a race. I've taken out 2 for 2, or was 2 for 2. We did another one. Didn't get gold, so it doesn't count. But so I got these medals. Really kind of Ferb. So thank you very much again, Furby. Really, really love them. But yeah, those are my medals. Should I wear them or?
Well, if you want, you're welcome. You're welcome. You've got the bragging rights on this show, so that's all right. There you are. That's brilliant. Now, one of our next questions was, what car would you love to own in real life? So the daily and also your ultimate.
I think my favorite car, since I was like little, I always used to watch like Transformers, basically, as we all probably did. Favorite car would have to be a Chevy Camaro 2020 Z01. Just that V8 supercharger. Rub it in first. That would be my dream car for sure. I'd probably I'd love to have that. That'd be the best car I could have. Little daily, I'm not sure actually. I currently drive a little Holden Cruise, so I'm not sure I probably could use the Camaro for both, I suppose. But
that's it. You don't have a family, so you're okay. You can use the coupe for anything you like, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now the big question that's on our minds at the moment, and it's Loopy Racing, who's been here right from the very start, and he says, "What are your thoughts on the GT Sport penalty system?
Well, that's always an interesting question. So I reckon it's actually all right at the moment, the way it is. Probably a couple little glitches. So if someone bumps into you, you get penalised. Probably should be sorted out.
Yeah.
But I think, obviously, because motorsport, obviously everyone says robbing is racing, but it's actually a contact-free sport, basically. So even if you're doing a couple bumps and I put my hand up, I'm guilty. Definitely Ferbs will say, yes, he is, Mr. Tappy Tap. But I love, well, I don't love, actually, that's the wrong word. I do get my tap on sometimes and accidentally do probably tap people, obviously. And yeah, basically, I think if you're tapping people or if you do hit people, then you should be penalised no matter how hard it is, because you should be clean nonetheless. So the tapper, sorry, I was reading chat. But one of my biggest faults, I guess, as a sim driver is going out a corner, reading chat, crashing. So yeah, pretty much. So
very easily done.
Yeah, very easily done. So yeah, I'd say it's probably all right at the moment. SR downs every time you hit someone is probably fair, although we don't like to see it. No one likes to be penalised, but yeah, I think it's actually fair at the moment. I just wish they would probably stop tampering with it, to be honest, because it is all right. But if they were to do something with it, just to fix, like they're wrongly basically penalties, basically. So the wrong penalties to the wrong driver.
I think, as you say, if someone hits you and you get the penalty, that's the annoying thing. I did have one great race earlier on Monday where all I could hear was crunching and banging. It was a Porsche race, and it was a grid start, so we all set off. And I didn't actually touch anyone. This was the thing. It was like people were spinning off to the left and to the right, and then people behind me were spinning off. And somehow I managed to pit my way through and end up being about seconds or third after the first corner. And there were penalties alike, and I was the only person who didn't get one. And I thought, and yet I heard all the sound of the crunching and everything else, and I thought, there's no way that we're all not going to get through this without something. And I actually managed to go penalty free.
Wow!
But it was something, because I thought there are obviously those glitches on the first few corners, and and obviously people are. I mean, because people were swiping each other and everything, and it was quite a high lobby as well. I was quite surprised. I thought normally they would try and keep relatively clean, but it does show you. But the annoying thing is if somebody just taps you and then you get like a 2-second penalty and you've done nothing wrong, that really is infuriating when that happens.
Definitely. I'd agree, definitely. Yeah.
Now, there's lots of questions, and they all seem to be coming around the same thing. And Ian at B55 says, "What is that rig? It looks great." So maybe now's the time in the show to show us exactly what you've got there.
So, it's all right. I'll just angle my camera a little bit better. So this is my Track Racer T80 racing wheel. I absolutely love it. I got it for my birthday this year. Pestering my mum and dad to see if I can get an upgrade from Betsy the Bunnings table, and this beauty is what I got. So it's custom wrapped, actually, as you can see, and the Mercedes Petronas Formula One team livery.
Wow.
With a couple decals of my own, such as I don't know if you can see it, but I have Gran Turismo, PlayStation, and my own Nitro Racing logo. So
wow.
And hello camera, focus please. There we go. And we have a T150 there as well. So yes, that's my little rig, my little battle station. So absolutely adore it. So yeah. Really
I think it's amazing what people have and the differences that they have. I mean, many people start with the Playseat challenge and the Logitech, and then they go on to something like that. So they go into Thrustmaster for the wheel, and then maybe things like Track Racer and other seats as well, or other play seats. But I mean, it's amazing, the tech, and every few months you're getting new stuff that's coming out. But that one does look really good. It looks very robust, and you're saying it's very, very comfortable as well.
Very comfortable, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's lots of padding on it, which is good, which is awesome for long stints, which I love doing. I guess if I don't do a good race in the first slot, I'll go to the next one. Probably won't do a good race in the second slot, move to the next one. So so I'll race for a couple hours at a time. So having a really good, comfortable seat like this is just fantastic. Yeah.
Ah, super.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you've got lots of people probably drooling over that seat there, and they'll be saying, we need to get that for Christmas. But I think they're widely available. I know they've been advertising quite a lot on Facebook and things like that, so it's probably worth. I know that I follow Thea, the Amazon on YouTube, and she has a special deal on it as well. You can click her link, and I think you get 5% off a track racer deal, which is pretty good. So it's worth having a good shop around. But that does look a very impressive seat. And it's fully adjustable. You can move it back and forth like a normal car seat, which is great. Because that's the thing. Because if other members of the family want to have a go, then it's great if they can all use it without any major issues. Now, we've talked a lot about Gran Turismo, and that seems to be the game that you play quite a lot. But do you have other racing games that you like as well?
Well, not really, actually. Gran Turismo is probably like my only game that I actually properly play at the moment. No, not really, actually. I know I have been pestered to try out ACC by a couple of guys. Probably one in particular. I think he's in chat. I think I saw his name pop up. But yeah, so I probably will try and get that eventually when my course and that and study kind of dies down a little bit for the year. Might stick my feet in.
I said, of course, a competition, and I said, of course, for the PlayStation PS4, and it actually works pretty well, and it's a good game, and I think it's one of those games. It's quite hard, and you can put some track markers on and things, but it really, I find if I've played a lot of ACC, I do better on Gran Turismo because I think it demands a lot more from you, because you really have to think ahead. And you have to be. You find that you can jump on and drive in GT Sport. It's easy, just to get on and have a go, which is the great thing about it. ACC takes an awful lot more because it's setups and all sorts of stuff that you can do, and it's, I suppose, more limited in the number of cars you can drive. But the Group 4s are always quite fun. And actually, that takes me to what's your kind of favourite track car combination in GT Sport?
Ooh, that's a good question, actually. I reckon probably, obviously, the Mercedes. I'm probably not going to say anything else, but favorite track again with the Mercedes. I really like Spa. Spa is a really good track. I love that. Bathurst as well, and I have to say Nürburgring 24-hour dish because it's really, really good track. I absolutely love it, and I was actually going to go there as well. Was this year, but probably a couple of years time, maybe down the road. Down the track, but
is it always Group 3 or is it Group 4? What do you prefer?
Group 3, probably, just a little more than Group 4. Only because it's just a bit faster, a bit quicker. Handles a bit nicer. The Group 4 Merc at the moment probably needs a little bit of a buffing. So so I'd definitely say Group 3 favorite car and favorite track probably between Bathurst and Nürburgring 24-hour. Or Dragon Trail.
All right. So. Dragon Trail is always good fun with that. The death chicane. That's the thing. It could be tough. It's not quite so bad in the Group 4, but in the Group 3s it can be a real. It's because it's gear changes and everything as you come through there, isn't it? It's a real kind of skill to be able to get through to that one, which is good. And what currently are your kind of ratings on GT Sport? Are you already at S? Or are you aiming for S? What's kind of your
So
goal?
I've already actually applied for the S rating in DR, and I've also, of course, got a S rating in SR.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was A+ for probably like 10 days, I guess. But I think just having bad races every now and then kind of makes me dip below it a little bit. I've been trying to grind it a couple dailies, but need to get given a couple good dailies. Just to grind my way back up there. But I'm always lingering around A+ DR driver rating.
That's very good then.
I try.
Well, that means you're very quick. Now that's good because one of my co-hosts who was on our show on Tuesday night, I was trying to teach him for a joke how to go a bit quicker around the track, and you don't want to ask me how to make you go quicker, but he's asked the question, who is quicker, Hugh or Nitro? And I think, well, that's a pretty obvious question. Who's an SS driver and who is barely on A and S? So it's I think that's a fairly easy one to get right. I have to say I did enjoy. I do like Group 4, so I managed to get I think a 127.2 at Laguna Seca this week. So that's
Oh, wow.
So not too, about a second off or so, just over a second off the best time. I thought that's not too bad for a 45-year-old fat man who tries to do GT sports. But no, it's good fun, and it's a great thing. Is I think the more you practice, the better you get, and you've sort of shown you can to get up there. So I suppose the next question would be, what are your tips for getting faster? What's been the key for you getting up to the highest levels at GT Sport?
Well, doing a lot of racing, I guess, just as many races as you can possibly do on as many tracks as you can possibly do. Learning tracks as much as you can. So when I go into manufacturers in the last couple of weeks, especially, I haven't really given it that many. I've probably only had like half an hour before a race to practice. So I think definitely as much practice as you can do for a race, the better you will do. And that's definitely shown in my results for the past season. I started off pretty strong because I had a lot of practice, and then it started to drop down a bit when I had exams and stuff coming in, and things that I had to concentrate on besides sim racing, which is unfortunate. But so I think if you can do as many laps as you possibly can, just until the tires die. If you can do as many races as you can possibly do, then I think you will obviously get better, and you'll start to learn the track and the car more, and you'll be able to understand how the car reacts when you do things, and like when you go around certain corners, what will the car do? How will it handle that corner? And just trying to find like the just the limit basically. So as many races as you can do basically.
And lots of practice.
Every race you do is going to help you 100%.
Yeah. Now we've got a question from Banana Josh, which was actually done near the start of the show, and he says, "Will you beat Cody Lakovsky in GT Sport Top 16 Superstars?"
So Cody, if you're a little unaware, he is the I don't think he was the fastest guy anymore, but I think he was just pipped at the post last season. He was for the longest time the fastest driver in Oceania. Drove for Mercedes too. That's why I'm number 2 in Australia for Mercedes, basically. Not to flex or anything, but cheers. But probably, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Definitely on my bucket list to try and beat him, I guess. He's a really good guy. And I've been watching his times and his replays and stuff a lot just to see if I can get a better understanding of my own car, because he is so super quick. So yeah, well, that's something. And one of the questions as well from Lippy Racing, he was saying, do you listen to any sim racing podcasts? Yes, I do. Simcater's podcast, shout out to them on YouTube, Apple Play, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Simcater's podcast, run by actually In Exile, a previous guest here. Oh yeah, and Pat Becky. So so definitely watch them or listen to them. Sorry,
and I'll pop that in the description, because once this goes out as well, I'll put it in the description, so you can always email me with all those things. That would be fantastic, and it's a great shout out to previous guests on the show. And so, what are the kind of things that you look out for, or you think you've learned from these kind of podcasts? Because there's lots of talk. What are the things that you can look out for to try and help you racing and your tactics?
Right. So it's a good question actually. So I'd probably say learning from these podcasts, they do talk about like what daily races are really good to actually get into and to start doing more of, I guess, and what you should and shouldn't be doing in a race and stuff like that. Obviously, I think it was mentioned was tapping people from Furby, I think, in one episode. So I think that was almost like a bit of a direct sort of thing to me to try and get me to stop tapping people. I'm trying, okay, Furbs.
We'll have to get Furby on the show. We'll have to get him on the show next and see if he'll get his own version on it.
No, so I think they just give really, really good advice and in all things racing. And it's really good to listen to them, and because although they do have some fun and talking jibber jabber a little bit. It's like in with the jibber jabber is a lot of really good helpful tips. So they're really good at what they're doing, and podcast is awesome.
Yeah. Well, perhaps we can do a little collaboration, and we could have them both on the show, both presenters, and we could have that would be quite a fun night for us all. Really to discuss some racing and see how we all get on and all our points of view on racing. That now we've got obviously Gran Turismo 7 coming out quite soon. What would you like to see in GT7? What would be your best kind of or the requirements that you think would be a good update?
Right. I reckon probably the new Merc GT3 car, the facelift one. I would love to see that. Probably a wider range of cars. I think in Exile was probably hoping for like a lot of like classic Japanese cars and just classic cars in general. I think he was saying. I probably have to agree with him. I think really good classic cars. I think that's probably where GT's roots are. With all those sort of cars. So I think having something like that would be really, really good. Lots of them because. I think in previous games used to have a couple thousand cars. So if they could somehow bring all them back, I think that would be really, really good.
Yeah. I think the Australian V8 cars. Remember, because it's famous at Bathurst, isn't it, for the Australian? Is it the Australian touring cars?
The special V8 supercars.
Yeah, the V8 supercars. I always thought that would be an incredible. And we don't really have anything like that on GT Sport. That would be something. Definitely. Because in Britain we have the British Touring Car Championship, and it's had an amazing history. In the 90s, a lot of people think that was its kind of golden period. But that would be because we'd love Gran Turismo to have the Vauxhall Cavaliers, or they'd be like Opel Vectras probably over in Australia, and things like that, and the Alfa Romeos, the 155s from like '94 with Tarquini and the Volvo Estates. They had an amazing run of cars that they used to race. In Britain, but it'd be great to have something like that. I think there is actually a British touring car game coming out at some point.
Cool.
On PlayStation, so that would be good. But I suppose when the new PS5 comes out, the graphics are going to be better, and it's going to hopefully be able to do a bit more. But I think GT7, it'd be great to see more cars, and maybe a few more races as well for the dailies, because you only really have 3, and we have a very short one. I think they could make them a little bit longer, and I think it's quite good having a few races that aren't maybe, that are between 10 minutes and whatever, 10, 15 minutes. And then you've got the more serious ones that last 20 minutes or half an hour. But maybe an extra race every week would be just to add to, even like a rally, or like a rally cross or something. Because they've got some.
Yeah, that would be really good.
That would maybe stir it up a little bit. Because you don't really see the cars being used that much. Or it could just be an interesting combination, or a single-seater race every week as well, or something, I would love like what the old Formula Fords, a really basic single-seater. I think that would be really good fun to have something like that, because obviously they've got the F1 cars and stuff. But I think I could imagine if you had like a grid that was like 24 different drivers all racing around Brands Hatch or Bathurst or somewhere in single-seaters, it would be hilarious, wouldn't it? It would be quite fun. So things like that I think would be quite fun. In fact, in Exile has said a 1 hour enduro race would be good. I think that'd
be really good.
And Lippy Racing has said, your birdies must be sleeping, Nitro. So so I have 2 little birdies actually. One's a little lovebird, one's a budgie, and you can often hear them pretty much all the time throughout my streams, basically, because I think because I'm just using an open microphone at the moment from my camera. But you can always hear them. They're pretty loud, so they are asleep at the moment. That's all right. You've got the cover over them to keep them quiet. And that's
it.
That now we've got a couple of questions here. Also, another one from Fat Furby. It's saying, at Catalunya, you went from 14th to 5th with no tapping and amazing racing. So, what was the key to that?
That was, I think, after 4 bad races at Catalunya. I just probably gotten the hang of the track at that point. Obviously, I think when you're practicing for a race, especially for like Catalunya or like a really kind of, I don't want to say it's a complex track, but for any really hard or difficult tracks that you're struggling on, I think doing at least 4 or 5 practice races before the race really helps. I was sort of using the actual races as a practice race, which probably isn't the best thing to do, but yeah, definitely I'd say practice a lot more would be the secret. I still couldn't really get qualifying down, I think, on that race, but yeah, I think I made up for it certainly in race pace for sure. So yeah, so that was also the strategy was a bit different. I'd gone through like a previous race replay that I'd just done, and yeah, basically I saw that the guy behind me went from almost last to first using like a certain pit strategy. And I thought, I'm gonna copy this guy, and yeah, 14th to 5th, not a bad race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've got more fans coming in. We've got Chadris and Oceanic Ferret.
Hey, g'day guys.
They're all coming in, and so ready. You're more than welcome to ask as many questions as you can to our very special guest, Nitro, who is taking the questions today all the way from Perth in Australia. That now Banana Josh has said the Toyota GR Yaris 2020 is coming to GT Sport. What's your reaction?
Wow, I'm honestly, well, I don't really know, because like I don't think I've even seen the proper car yet, but well, I mean, there's lots of little cars like that in the game already. I think it'd be really good to get more of them. Well, I say more of them, but probably like really good cars. Just because it'd be fun just bashing around in them in daily races and stuff like that, and just to be able to drive and see all these classic cars and good cars in lobbies and stuff like that. So
yeah,
the Yaris, probably not really as excited as a lot of the cars that you might see coming possibly in the near future. But yeah, it'd be interesting.
Thank goodness it's not a Prius. That
Yeah.
be otherwise that would be pretty awful. Although it would be quite a fun race. You can imagine that on a daily race. We'd always choose. It'd be like round the North Slifer, a 2-lap race around. It would be just be awful. But hopefully GT Sport will not listen to this and end up putting that one on. Now, we've got a very technical question for one of our co-hosts here, who's a bit of an LED fanatic. So he's saying, do you find the blue lighting behind your television is helpful? And is it a Philips Hue lighting system?
Right. So I wouldn't say it's helpful. It's definitely really good. Definitely brightens this corner of the room, especially, and adds a bit of flair to the rig if it wasn't already special enough. But yeah, it changes color, and it is the Hue Play, I think it's what it's called. Yes, the Hue Play little light bars are only probably like this big, basically. Yeah. But yeah, they're pretty damn bright, and you can control them on an app. And so I wouldn't, but as I wouldn't say they're probably helpful. They definitely don't hinder me, hinder my ability to drive, but they just look cool. So yeah, I love it.
It does look decent. But now Fat Furby has asked, any story behind your online name of Nitro?
Ooh. Sorry, Ferbs, but it's nothing really special about that. I don't know, I probably just chose it when the PlayStation asked me to choose a name. I don't know, I probably wanted a car related name. Could have gone anything else, but I just thought Nitro was a good name. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing too special, but yeah.
That's great. Now, this is a time in the show when for what little merchandising I do have, this is everyone who comes on the show now gets to see the famous cup. And this is the name of our, I'll see if that will work. There you are. Can you see it there? The name of our one is Winning the Race at the First Corner, Fat Man in a Cheap Sim. And you won't get that anywhere else, guaranteed, anywhere else in the world, indeed. They're just £9 plus postage, even for all you guys across there on the other side of the globe. You can still order one of these. Send me an email, info@hughhatrick.com, and we'll get one sent over to you. As I say, just £9 plus postage. But that's all the merchandising I'll do, I promise you, for this. I'll say that now, but I'll probably do it later on. But there we are. So what are your future goals for sim racing? What would you like to achieve? Where do you see yourself in a few years' time?
Goals? Yeah. Well, I definitely love to see myself in a top 16 race. I've just been a bit shy of that. I think I've finished 37th in Oceania. That's including all the states plus New Zealand and also Tasmania as well. So not a bad effort. I would definitely love to be higher up there in the ranks, I suppose. I definitely love to be getting a bit quicker. Every race I do, every single qualifying I do, I'm definitely getting quicker. Every practice race and everything I do, I'm getting better. So I would love to see myself get towards McCosy. I don't know if I'll ever beat him in a race. I've been in a race with him. I've been lapped by him. So I'd love to be there up there competing with him in top 16 race for sure, representing Mercedes. So.
And I mean, the thing is, because obviously when you're getting up to these high levels in GT Sport, I'm sure you would be good on other games like ACC. And I was just doing interviews for the SimGrid Spa 24-hour race just at the weekend there. And it was a great race to be part of, and large number of drivers, and a lot of them are professional, some of them are amateur, but really great community, and it was great fun. And I could certainly see you doing well in those races if you have a team that you put together and did like a 24-hour race. Would that be something that you would quite like? I mean, especially when it's Spa, because I know that's one of your favourite tracks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to do like some sort of a really big endurance race. I really love endurance racing actually. I find myself getting into a bit of a groove, just looking at the lap times and just trying to get better and better and better every lap. So I think going over to ACC would be a pretty big adventure. I haven't really played anything else since Gran Turismo Sport came out, so it would be kind of cool to test it out basically and just to see how it goes.
Yeah, because that's PC based, the ACC that they use for that. But no, I think you would do really well because if you're getting these kind of top run, S level and S level for GT Sport, that's kind of the ones that can do that tend to be able to do pretty well on ACC as well. And I'm sure the SimGrid would be a great opportunity for you. But no, that is something. If you could have a chance to actually have a go in a real racing series, what would it be?
Ooh, I'm not sure. Well, like in real life, you mean?
In real life, yeah. If you got the chance, because a lot of these sim racing competitions now, if you win them or do really well, you could get a chance to drive in a real racing series.
Yeah.
What would be your choice if you could do that?
Wow. Yeah, supercars would be really cool. Although I think GT3, like the actual real life GT3 series would be amazing. I'd probably go for the Benz, of course. With that really mean looking facelift car, that would be really cool. Even something like Formula Ford would be really good just to get into and just to start doing. But yeah, I'd say if I had to choose, probably between V8 supercars and GT3, definitely would be just something else, being able to drive those cars. So
yeah, and we've got a question from Banana Josh saying, will you drive iRacing to bring you to the next level of your racing career?
I don't know, actually. That's a really good question. I don't know. I probably definitely have to get a really good PC for that. This one's struggling to stream at the moment, so I definitely have to invest a little more. But I think iRacing would be pretty cool. Definitely pretty expensive. I think I was talking to Loopy about that yesterday in my party chat, just getting into iRacing, and he reckons it's just pretty damn expensive to get into. And but yeah, it would be really good because I think just the way the cars handle, I think would feel a little more realistic than what Gran Turismo does. Although I haven't really tested it out, and I think the closest I've come is going down freeway speeds. So when I've been driving, so I don't know, probably would feel a little more like real life. Over Gran Turismo, but yeah, it'd be interesting to get into for sure.
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
Oh no, that's fantastic. But so we've had discussed your favorite games, best results, penalties, future goals. What would you say has been some of your craziest moments? Perhaps a race where it was a penalty fest and you managed to get through it without kind of hurting your own DR, or what's just been the craziest moments that you've had so far in GT Sport?
Wow. Well, God, now I've got to remember. So I think that race that you probably joined in a couple of weeks ago in Suzuka. I did a massive spin, but somehow managed to recover it. I think it's somewhere on the Discord or on my channel. You can go have a look. But yeah, so I think that was pretty crazy. I ended up facing the right way and just sort of on the line, managed to get around the corners pretty efficiently after that. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. I think all the showdown races have been pretty damn crazy as well. Like there's lots of really close racing in with those showdown races that I do that I got these medals for. But yeah, I can't remember actually. It's a very hard good question actually. I'm trying to look at chat to see if they give me any reminders. But
that makes sense. I mean, because sometimes it's hard. There's so many different races. It's difficult to tell what's the craziest. Then, do you like the? I mean, obviously you like GT3 as you've told us. Do you ever do the other road car races that come up in the daily races and Gran Turismo Sport?
Yeah. So just recently I've been smashing out a couple daily race A's. I really actually quite like doing road car races. I think there was one a while ago, and it was like a Ferrari 458 Italia race on Maggiore. It was an absolute drift fest. I loved it, just being able to go sideways around every corner. So much fun.
Yeah, was that? I'm trying to remember if that was Maggiore in reverse or something, or was it the normal track? I can't remember. As you say, it was a few weeks ago, or was it? It was a good race.
Pretty sure it was like I think it was like the smaller. It's like the smaller version of the track, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good race, and I really enjoyed it. I do like racing in a couple like road car races every now and then. I dip my toes in like the LMP1 race C. Not my cup of tea, I don't think. But it was definitely an interesting race though, for sure, because there's like the LMP1 Group 1 cars are just a completely different beast to the GT3s and everything that you drive. So yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah,
for sure.
I know, because that's the. I mean, they are very fast, and you get the kind of specialists where they always do a Le Mans race, don't they? On GT Sport, you always get that with Group 1, and they're good fun, but there's a big difference between the really fast guys. I mean, I remember they were doing like a 3:17 at Le Mans, and like the top kind of times are even faster than that. And I was struggling to get like a 3:24 or something. It's obviously so many areas that I can make up time. But they're hard cars to drive. Those kind of really the kind of top end stuff, and it's I suppose you have your specialist areas that you really like, and you were saying earlier that's GT3. Do you think you'll change some of that, or do you want to stick around the kind of GT racing and specialize with them?
Well, I really love GT racing. It's very competitive and close racing as well. I don't know. I really like the Formula racing as well. I think they have the Super Formula races, or like cars in Gran Turismo, and they're actually pretty fun as well. I love bashing around in them, I guess.
Did you beat the? I bet you beat the Verstappen and Albon.
I had to go at that. I didn't really give it all. All I could give it. I don't think I didn't end up beating them though. I think it was close. I think probably under a second, or like just about a second off of them. So definitely heaps of time to gain in that. But I think lots of people would be doing it. It's really tough.
Yeah, I got, I think, at 1:39.6 or something, and I was about 3 or 4 tenths away from Verstappen's time, and I tried it for about an hour, and I couldn't get. I think when you go at it so long and you just think, no, I stopped working, you just need to take a break and come back. But I know like people like Super GT, they got a 1:38 dead, I think, pretty much. And so they beat Albon, and I thought, goodness me, that was something.
That's amazing.
Because I think the top times were like a 1:37.6 or something like that. But obviously the other guys, that's all they do is just round and round in these in the super
cars.
But no, that's the thing. Now you said right at the very beginning as to how you got into gaming, and you used to watch Formula One with your dad and things like that. That's why you're a big Mercedes fan and you love Formula One. And you're obviously watching it today. When did you start watching Formula One? And do you have any kind of favorite drivers and or favorite moments from F1 that kind of inspired you?
Yeah, I probably only started watching it like maybe 4 years ago, maybe. Definitely probably Lewis Hamilton, I'd have to say. I think this is actually his cap. So
all right, yeah,
definitely have to say Lewis. Really, really good fast driver. think there's a bit of hate for Lewis, but I really look up to him in the fact that he's as consistent and as fast as he is, and the fact that he's breaking records like Shumi's records, it's just fantastic. And obviously, I can't go past Danny Rick as well, Perth boy.
Yes, of course.
So so he's been on fire lately as well. So
yeah, he's done really well. I'm so pleased to see him get podiums in the Renault and really outperform that car, which is fantastic. That oh yes, now here's a question from Loopy Racing. What are your thoughts on Twitch streamers?
Twitch streamers are the best streamers, Loopy. I'm sure Chad Rice in chat will agree. There's Twitch guys. Yeah, Twitch streamers are really good. I really like Twitch as a platform. I think the things that you can do as a streamer is really good. How you have all these like different little like channel points that you can actually spend and do stuff. I think Chad Rice, shout out to Chad in chat. Chad Rice on Twitch, really awesome guy. Awesome channel. He does lots of Gran Turismo streams and stuff like that. That's just having a really good time, basically. Not really caring about racing too much, but more there for the vibes. But yeah, Twitch is a really good platform, Loopy. I think if I wasn't on YouTube, I'd definitely be on Twitch for sure. Yeah.
Now we've got some good comments here. Oceanic Ferret, which is a great name, I have to admit. I started watching when I was 3, so I presume that must have been Formula 1. And he said, and then Chad Rice says, good-looking guys on Twitch. And and then Fat probably says YouTube forever. And I think that's also Loopy's point of view as well.
YouTube and Twitch wall goes on strong still.
Yes, no, it's quite a thing, isn't it? Because YouTube is probably more popular, but I suppose if Twitch has more facilities, then although it's a bit more tricky to get into. I remember having horrendous issues trying to sign in, and I forgot my sign in and all that stuff. But YouTube, once you're signed up, it's kind of easy to go. But no, that's brilliant. So keep your questions coming in the second fast for Nitro, as we ask him all about sim racing and his career and where he's going. Now, in terms of, because you've been watching Formula 1 for 4 years, so you really only have watched the F1 when it's been the new turbo hybrid engines. But have you ever witnessed any of the kind of racing beforehand about the V8s? Because they were a lot noisier. And what did you think of that?
Well, I haven't witnessed them in person. Yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list to go and watch some V8s. Some F1. Sorry. But I think I have watched like a couple highlights and different races from previous years of when they had like older cars and the V8 era. I think even a couple of V12s as well. It's been really good to see how like the cars have been evolving as well. The fact that I think it's only been 70 years of Formula 1 or something, and the fact that they've been able to come from that far is just incredible. Really good to see the progression.
I'll give you a word of warning. When you get to see the V8 cars, they're a heck of a lot noisier than the V6s.
Oh, really?
A lot noisier.
Wow.
But I mean, they're amazing. They're absolutely incredible. There's some great videos on YouTube that people have done. One I always used to like. It was done in 2013. It was one of the last races. If it was the last race of the V8 era at Abu Dhabi, and someone took a minute-long video of the cars coming to the grid, and then so most of them are on the grid already, and then you can just hear them banging off the rev limiter as they get to the grid, and the noise is just—you'll never forget it. And then the revs go up as the man with the green flag goes past, and then they all zip away, and it's just incredible. I remember when I used to watch the F1 testing when it was in Spain at Jerez, and we used to fly out for a couple of hours to Spain, and it was €10 to get in and watch the testing. Wow. And you could get right to the action. It was a really good track for that. And the first time I did it was 2008, and it was only Hamilton's second full year in Grand Prix, and we managed to walk right round to the back of the circuit. And who was the first guy to come round? We had our little camera up, but Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes.
No way.
Just came hearing round, and it puts the chills on my back. You know, it's like as he came racing round, and it's just, and the noise and the atmosphere and the smell and the whole thing. It's just incredible. But if ever you get a chance, you go to the Goodwood Festival of Speed, because they have F1 cars from all the eras, and they have the kind of V8 era there covered always really well. And the best thing we did in the paddock at Goodwood, you have this hedge, and then they on the other side is all the teams, and they start up the cars one by one. And they've all got these amazing libraries. So stand behind the hedge, get as close as you can behind the hedge, and then they go up one by one, like the Red Bull will start, and then the Ferrari will start, and they do sound similar. There's little differences in there. And then the McLaren will start, and then there'll probably be an Alpha Tauri or something like that, or an Alfa Romeo, or one of these ones with all V8s or V10s. And the noise is just incredible. It's something you'll never forget once you've seen something like that. But now, that's one amazing. Of the other questions we've had is: are you going to be upgrading, or what would be your plan for an upgrade for your sim rig?
I have to say, get a new wheel for sure. I think they were asking kind of what wheel, so I'd probably get a CSL Elite or something of that description. Definitely a Fanatic wheel. I'd say they're really, really good wheels. I know that Ferbs and In Exile and a couple of guys have them. They look really, really good. So I'd definitely probably be upgrading that next. I just got a brand new monitor as well, and covering that as well. And but yeah, I'd definitely say new wheel and new pedal box would 100% be my next upgrade for sure.
That'll be on the Christmas list. That'll be the one.
This year's Christmas list.
Isn't it? About the past Black Friday where you can get the deals on Amazon or whatever it might be. But yeah, no, that's the thing. Now, how do you find using a curved monitor? Has that changed a wee bit of your driving experience?
Curved monitor, I've only just had it for like a couple of weeks, and honestly, it's really, really good. I don't think it changes anything. Probably immerses you maybe a little more because, well, that's more of what you can see, like in your field of vision. It's a 37.5-inch Nitro monitor. It's actually Acer Nitro monitor. I didn't get it for the name or anything. No, but yeah, no, it's really, really good. I'm loving it. So
it does look right.
Yeah, cheers. Oh no, I love the setup. I've actually got a little monitor over here, actually, which is a little 24-inch Acer Nitro monitor. Again, didn't get it for the name or anything. That's going to be situated just above that monitor, so I can read chat and watch videos while I'm racing and stuff. So yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? It's good to have your monitor nearby so you can see the chat quite quickly and choose what kind of comments you can respond to and things like that. But definitely, but yeah. And now I've got to look. We've got a question here from Stanio85. I think that's what it was. Give me 2 seconds here. Have you raced in IRL? If so, what car and track? I haven't. I think the closest, the only racing I've done in real life is probably like bumper kart, go-kart races at like birthday parties and stuff like that. I wish I could have done a bit more. Like actual proper racing, I don't. I think if we could rewind the clocks, I'd probably go and do like go-karting and start getting into that properly. Or even just probably in the future, maybe if I could save up enough just to buy a little kart, maybe maybe I'd get into that, or maybe a little project car, perhaps that me and my uncle that could work on. So I think that would be really good. But apart from little bumper karts, no, not much real racing, unfortunately. So,
but now Loopy Racing has asked, would it be for your wheel? Would it be a Thrustmaster GT or Fanatec for GT Sport only?
I don't know, because like I do play Gran Turismo like a lot, so I think the TGT would be really cool to have, since it is like a Gran Turismo wheel from Thrustmaster. But I don't know. I really like the Fanatics actually. I've been having a look at them. May have added a couple things to the shopping cart. Haven't clicked buy obviously yet. Just dreaming about it. But no, I probably would go for the Fanatic, like Fanatec or however you say it. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now here's a completely different question for you, also from Lippy Racing. Do you do any bike riding?
Yes, I do actually. That's my little hobby on the side of sim racing as well. Of course, sim racing is a hobby for me. But yeah, I do love going mountain biking up in the Western Australian hills and stuff like that. I actually have like a GT marathon bike. It's an American bike, but it's like a dual suspension bike, and I really love it. I actually go up with my uncle. Again, it's another thing. Shout out to my uncle. So I guess I go up with him and and just kind of go through like the Perth Hills, just riding around, hitting trails, going through water crossing. Just love it.
Keeps you fit as well, isn't it? That's the thing.
Definitely.
It's a good, healthy sport to be able to do, and to make it all to kind of keep you ready and eyes kind of, I suppose, in the right kind of health and attitude. In fact, that's a question there. Do you think that the fitter you are, the better you get on sim racing? Or do you think, like me, you can be a bit overweight and still manage to do quite well?
No, I definitely reckon that anyone can get into sim racing. Anyone can be fast as long as you put in enough practice. I don't think really age or like fitness really plays that much of a role in this.
You think though that maybe the fitter you are, perhaps the sharper the reactions as well, because you're more kind of mentally, because obviously the fitter you are, more mentally strong as well. You tend to get because you've got that extra energy to be able to put out there.
Well, that's true. Yeah. It's probably got some sort of a role in it, I guess. But I don't know. I think probably reaction times is really the only thing, I suppose. But I actually have a friend, who does this as well, and he was telling me like a couple of days ago that he knows a dude who is 89 years old and playing Gran Turismo, basically. Wow. And he's just probably as fast as us.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, 89 years old. I was blown away by that, actually. So,
that's fantastic. Probably keeps you it does keep you alert and it keeps your mind going because you're having to think all the time. Yeah. So it's like a good game instead of playing chess. You can play Gran Turismo and you are sweating away as you race. So at least you're getting some form of exercise and things like that. But, have you ever played the kind of motion simulators? There are some motion simulators in racing, but have you ever had a chance?
I haven't had a go there yet. I know there is a place in Perth that has like a couple of them, and they're really big sort of rigs, and they're on stilts almost, and you can sit in them, and they've got hydraulics and moving you around. I'd really love to try that. I think that'd be a really cool experience. Yeah. Just to get an extra feel in the game, because that'd be pretty crazy, actually. Just being able to move around. If you go over a bump, you'll feel it, which is something you don't get in normal sim racing that you get in real life. So, so it's an added extra bit of immersion.
Well, that's cool. Super. That's great. Well, we've been going for just under an hour here at the Car Sim and Race Driver Show, and I think it's still only about coming up 7 o'clock in the morning over there in Australia, which is fantastic. But we'll probably have to call it a day there to give you a break and give you a chance to relax and catch up with some sleep.
No worries.
But it's been phenomenal to have you on the show, and stay on the line for a wee minute there as we wrap up. But to everyone who's been watching tonight, it's really fantastic to have you with us. And Nitro has shown us here his true colours and passion for sim racing, and I'm sure we'll see him go on to do extremely well in sim racing. And to be S&S on GT Sport already is fantastic, because that's the goal for all of us. We all think we'd love to eventually get there, but you're already doing that, and you're just barely out of school, if you don't mind me saying. It's fantastic. So I'm sure you'll go on and do really well. Now, we will make a podcast of this show, which will be available on Podbean over the next few days. So look out for that too, and I'll send you the link, of course. So it's all there. And of course, you can still get the mug and just go on to the channel or send me an email at info@hughhattrick.com. But we will look at wrapping up the show. But thank you very much, Nitro, for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been an awesome time. I love everyone in chat. You guys are super awesome. I love all the questions that have been coming through. Really good questions. So thank you very much again for having me. It's just been an awesome experience. I wouldn't think I'd ever be having an actual interview about a game that I love playing every day. So it's just phenomenal. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And if you find yourself that you're a competitor of Nitro, one of his mates here, and you would like to come on the show, send us an email and we'll get that all sorted out and we'll have you on the show. And perhaps even with the podcast we were talking about earlier, that would be quite fun to see if we could do a live show with all of you as well. That would be amazing. And if it's the first time that you visited the channel, Please subscribe if you like lots of sim racing content and also racing content, because that's exactly what we do. But it's been fantastic to have everybody here with us tonight. You've been an amazing guest. Nitro, Braden Henderson. I'll wrap up by saying drive fast and try not to crash. Bye just now.